WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. I'm gonna do the math real quick. I don't even know my salary. 74? Okay. Times.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah. You know my salary. Does it? Let me see. You don't even. Yo! I'm living beyond my means!
And that would be her sixth. She's trying to convince her head coach to challenge.
Yes, that's Angel Reese screaming, and that's her head coach that you can audibly hear saying, "Calm down."
Is Angel Reese breaking barriers in women's basketball, or is she simply stirring up non-stop drama? On the surface, she's a superstar with jaw-dropping stats and million-dollar brand deals. But behind the highlights is a split persona. 1 minute, she's declaring herself the villain who lives for controversy. The next, she's painting herself as a misunderstood target. That contradiction has turned her into a lightning rod in the sports world.
And I actually don't. Like, I think you can celebrate and win sports in however you want. And the thing is, like, sports reward big characters. And as you can love Angel Reese or hate Angel Reese, but you have some feeling about her.
Love her or hate her, she's impossible to ignore. Today, we're diving into the layers of Angel Reese's journey. The skills, the stunts, and the shock value that keeps everyone talking. Angel Reese's buzz started long before she hit the professional courts. During her time at LSU, she displayed a knack for turning heads with more than her basketball skills. Media outlets covered her double-doubles, but she also landed in trending discussions for her unapologetic style and in-your-face demeanor.
Like, they just, when they're doing well, they just shout out hootie hoo. And Angel Reese, after beating the Lunarels, comes off like doing their, like, almost like celebrating, making fun of them. And look, it's on brand for Angel Reese. Like, this is, like, look, this is on brand for Angel Reese.
She was nicknamed the Bayou Barbie, showcasing high-level athleticism, paired with a flair for Instagram-ready photo shoots. The biggest twist? She openly embraced the villain label from the beginning. She told interviewers that she loved it when people booed her. She thrived on it even. The boldness worked wonders for her brand, but it set off alarm bells for critics who believed she was overshadowing the spirit of the game with theatrics. Still, as the attention poured in, she seemed eager to be center stage, brushing off any talk that she might be taking things too far.
But Angel Reese, like I said, multiple phases. We have the good phase. Played a great game. We have the bad phase. Got in her coach's face over a challenge that they eventually lost, and she looked crazy just screaming at Nola Henry, blah, 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 blah.
But early signs hinted that her boldness wasn't always consistent. She could talk trash and flex for the cameras, yet if someone called her out, she'd pivot to claiming she was misunderstood. This duality became part of her signature, feeding both fans and naysayers a steady stream of commentary, and stirring the pot of controversy even before she leaped to the next level. Despite the drama, there's no question she can hoop. Angel Reese has had eye-popping performances, pulling down 20 rebounds, racking up 20 points, and swatting shots like she's guarding her life savings. She's proven she can be a genuine force, showcasing footwork, tenacity on the boards, and a relentless drive that energizes her entire team. That competitive spirit, however, sometimes spills over in the worst ways. She's been spotted yelling at her coaches over simple disagreements, leaving people wondering if the tension helps or hurts team chemistry. One night, she could be seen giving instructions to teammates like a born leader. The very next, she's screaming at a coach mid-game, turning a simple challenge into a public clash.
But she's had a couple of big back-to-back games. I think this is her best professional game. And I came on here getting ready to prepare for this video, getting ready to praise her for all of that. And then I got to looking at the aftermath of the game. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
The unpredictable nature of her on-court attitude fuels the larger storyline. Is she unstoppable? Or is she unhinged? Fans have witnessed both. One game, she'll carry her squad to a statement win, only to overshadow her performance afterward with trash talk that leaves everyone buzzing for the wrong reasons. Yet, it's impossible to deny that these villain moments also create hype around women's basketball. Some claim she's boosting TV ratings and ticket sales by dragging the spotlight onto the court, even if she does it with a menacing grin and a barrage of post-game quotes. But for every fan excited about the theatrics, there's a critic who believes her style dilutes what could be a genuinely positive moment for the sport. From the moment Angel Reese steps on the court, you can sense the tension. If things are going her way, buckets falling, rebounds piling up, she's not shy about letting the crowd know who's in charge. She might wave a hand in someone's face, mock the opposing bench, or even launch a celebratory dance aimed directly at the home fans. Naturally, this leads to hostile receptions. Booing crowds aren't rare in sports, but Angel Reese has a unique relationship with them. She seems to invite the jeers, then flips the script and says she's unfairly targeted whenever it goes too far. During certain post-game interviews, she's openly complained about how fans treat her, framing the story as if she's being persecuted. This is where the villain versus victim storyline plays out in real time. People see her mocking an entire arena. Then they hear her call out the same fans for booing her. One side applauds her "take no prisoners" mentality, claiming she's good for women's hoops. Others roll their eyes, saying she can't beg for the spotlight, and then cry foul when it scorches her. On social media, debates rage on. One tweet will praise her generational talent, while another ridicules her for needing constant validation. She's a recurring main character in basketball Twitter threads, fueling heated arguments that keep her name trending, just the way she seems to like it. But as bold as her trash-talking is, her post-game rants might be what truly keep her in the headlines. For a player who insists she's immune to critics, Angel Reese certainly spends a lot of time addressing them. After big wins, she often snags the post-game microphone to share emotional monologues. These speeches usually follow a pattern. She'll highlight her stats, thank her teammates, and then pivot toward her struggles. According to her, she's constantly dealing with an unfair level of scrutiny. Yet only moments before, she might have been on the court taunting fans or telling them to keep booing. Her contradictions extend beyond attitude. In one viral clip, she claimed the WNBA paycheck doesn't even cover her rent. That's a stinging comment about the league's pay scale. Women's basketball salaries have long been a hot topic, but it also seems ironic coming from one of the biggest NIL earners in collegiate history. She's posted about glamorous fashion shoots, traveled on private jets, and inked deals that eclipse the salaries of many established pros. Still, she stands by her statement that she's living beyond her means. If she has to rely on the WNBA checks, that contradiction lit up the internet. Some fans saw it as a genuine critique of how undervalued women's sports are. Others found it laughable that someone with major endorsements is portraying herself as financially strapped. Once again, Angel Reese had everyone talking, but for reasons that overshadowed her 20-point performances. Even when she's not complaining about pay, Angel Reese is busy sparking fires with one name that always comes back to haunt her, and it starts with a C. Fans have been salivating at the idea of a future collision course in the pros. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on opposite sides, each representing a new wave of women's basketball. Their personalities couldn't be more different. Clark is often praised for letting her game do the talking. Reese, by contrast, thrives on noise, both on and off the court. The seeds of their rivalry were planted when Reese taunted Clark during a high-profile college game, creating a viral moment that soared beyond sports headlines. Sports analysts debated whether it was unsportsmanlike or simply part of the competitive spirit. Regardless, the tension shot through the roof when fans realized these two might face off in the WNBA. When that day comes, expect fireworks. Angel Reese has never shied away from publicly challenging Clark, and Clark, for her part, has responded mostly by staying focused on her game. But their showdown is more than personal. It's symbolic, representing two contrasting styles that could define the league for years. One side thrives on dramatics, the other on stoic excellence. Both are unstoppable in their own ways, and together they could propel women's basketball into unprecedented visibility. Of course, visibility comes with a price, and some say Angel Reese's tactics, while entertaining, might be draining the spotlight from the essence of the sport. There's no question Angel Reese has ignited broader conversations about women's basketball. Ticket sales have seen upticks in some arenas, social media engagement around women's hoops is on the rise, and highlights are finally gaining traction beyond niche sports channels. She has undeniably contributed to this surge. But is it the kind of attention that elevates the league, or does it hinge too much on controversy? Supporters argue she's a modern disruptor. They say every sport needs a charismatic star who's unafraid to play the villain, someone who can draw crowds with a single tweet or an outrageous gesture on the court. Look at men's sports, they add. Controversial figures often captivate mainstream audiences, driving ratings and revenue. Why should women's basketball be any different? Skeptics counter that while drama can bring in casual viewers, it's a short-term fix that might undermine deeper growth. They worry that constantly focusing on a player's taunts and off-court rants overshadows the competitive brilliance of the entire league. Instead of celebrating refined skills and team dynamics, watchers get lured into social media spats. If the hype is more about theatrics than the actual game, does that truly benefit women's basketball in the long run? Yet, this conversation also touches on a bigger issue: how fans react to women athletes who show swagger, especially compared to male athletes who do the same. Angel Reese's behavior isn't entirely new. In men's sports, we've seen countless players cash in on controversy. Trash talk has been a staple in the NBA and NFL for decades, often celebrated as a mark of fierce competitiveness. Icons like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant famously unleashed verbal warfare on opponents, and fans ate it up. However, women athletes still face a different standard. It wasn't that long ago that overt passion in women's sports was dismissed as unsportsmanlike or unladylike. So when Angel Reese waves her hand in an opponent's face, some see it as a double standard that she's lambasted more than her male counterparts. Others insist it's not about gender, but about consistency. If you welcome the boos, you can't cry foul the moment those boos get under your skin. This polarizing dynamic means Angel Reese isn't just any player. She's a symbol of a larger culture clash. Some hail her as a trailblazer who refuses to fit the respectable mold forced upon female athletes, while others label her antics as immature and distracting. Either way, she's holding a mirror up to sports culture, sparking debates that might shape the next generation of women's basketball. This brings us to the final question. Is Angel Reese forging a revolutionary path, or is she trapping everyone in a never-ending cycle of drama? In a sense, Angel Reese stands on a tightrope between a revolutionary figure and a lightning rod personality. She's proven she has the skill set to dominate in the pros, pulling down monster rebounds and firing shots from the perimeter with an aggressive flair. Her presence guarantees fan engagement. Clips of her big plays and bigger celebrations rack up views in minutes. Still, the overshadowing controversies threaten to derail her potential. Each time she calls herself the most hated or claims she doesn't need the league's approval, she adds another layer to a persona that might overshadow her actual basketball achievements. The question is whether she'll mature in her approach or continue riding the hype train, controversies included. Those close to the sport know there's a delicate balance to maintain. The WNBA is on the cusp of major expansion, with increased coverage and star power drawing in new audiences. Will Angel Reese's brand of chaos catapult it forward, or will fans grow weary of the soap operatic storylines? One thing's certain, the future matchups against rivals like Caitlin Clark will be must-see TV. If Angel Reese can harness her ambition, keep delivering monster stats, and refine her off-court messaging, she might genuinely reshape the league. But if she keeps pivoting from proud villain to victimized hero at the drop of a dime, her legacy risks becoming a sideshow act instead of a legend in the making. Angel Reese is standing at a crossroads. She's simultaneously an unstoppable force on the hardwood and a master provocateur who never misses a chance to spark the next headline. The big question is whether she'll channel that relentless energy into building a lasting legacy, or continue to split fans between those who admire her swagger and those who feel exhausted by her theatrics. Either way, the sport can't look away. Every game she plays, every microphone she grabs, and every tweet she fires off seem to fuel the hype machine anew. Maybe that's what women's basketball needs, a shakeup demanding attention. Or maybe it's a ticking time bomb, waiting to explode in a wave of controversy that distracts from the pure skill being showcased. Where she goes from here is up to her. Will Angel Reese rewrite how the public perceives women's basketball? Or is she just writing her script of drama that ultimately leads nowhere? Only time will tell. For now, she's caught everyone's eye. And as her next chapter unfolds, you can bet people will keep clicking, commenting, and tuning in to see which version of Angel Reese steps onto the court next.